G'day guys, and today Shorty and I are going to review the game which was between Geelong and Essendon at Etihad Stadium. It was the Cats getting the job done by 66 points. And matey, you had work today. I managed to get to the game. I went along with your old man and the sister, and let's be honest, it wasn't really what we're after. It's tough to really say that we got the job done, even though we won convincingly. Probably one of the worst 10-goal losses you'll ever see. With 10-goal win, I should say.
No, it was pretty underwhelming as a game, full stop, really. Both sides didn't really play that well. But no, Zach Smith said they were looking at a percentage booster, and it boosted it, but not by enough. I mean, when Adelaide smashed Brisbane like that, it puts a bit of pressure on us to really smash us and smash the opposition. And we should have won by more. We buggered around with it a bit. Didn't take the kicks on goal, and we should have overpossessed it at times. I mean, watching on the TV a bit, it didn't look as though we had any trouble finding the ball or moving the ball, like has been the problem in the past. But just that final kick inside 50, which has sometimes been a problem, or just finding the atmosphere and intensity seemed to be something that we lacked, like almost looking for a challenge or something to play for, even though it was there. The percentage boost was the goal. It just looked like a side who was pretty comfortable doing what they were doing and took it a little bit too easy at times. I think we had 22 marks inside of 50, and to only get 25 scoring shots that's pretty poor, I reckon.
Wow.
We had a lot of kicks inside 50 that we had marks from, and then we just went another kick which wasn't necessary, or played on, which I felt should have just taken the shot. And, I think with the amount of sort of running goals we get from clearances and stuff, to have that many marks inside 50 and only get the 15 goals was, I thought it sort of highlighted. It's a good number, but I think we should have just stuck to the basic footy. Not
That's
trying
amazing.
to do it. When you're in cruise control and basically know you're going to win, there's that tendency to do a bit too much or get your teammates involved or do something special a bit more, when all you need to do is the basics. So,
we were fancy.
I guess that's my thoughts on the game. It looked like a shocking game from what I was saying, but unfortunately it's a win. At 66 points, we only beat them by 30 last time, so, we could have put in another real stinker, only won by 5-6 goals, and we would have been more frustrated.
True.
It's disappointing that we are now 6% behind Adelaide, and I think 3 behind the Giants, but, that's not the end of the world. I think there's no reason we can't smash Richmond. It's a funny season. Adelaide have got the showdown, and I don't think you just don't know. We are behind the ball now with that lack of percentage.
Yep.
But, there's no reason. You're only one really good performance away, or even a surprise performance away. If you're the Giants, you're probably frustrated you only just got to rely on the Suns and lost percentage. So,
Melbourne beat Hawthorn.
It's that percentage went up a little. It's not what we wanted, but it is what it is, as they say, mate. It's a bit of a deflating and how should I feel sort of feeling, but how do you reckon it all went? What were your thoughts then at the game?
Right at the coalface, mate. Yeah, it was intriguing. Quarter time, 3 goals, 2-3 behind. I thought, this is amazing. And halfway through the second term, I was just like, I've had enough. I was genuinely just, I did one of your sprays where you're just like, I've had it. I just don't care anymore. Halfway through the second term, it's about, what was it? We were 30 points up. Might have been 34-4, and I was just like, this is just shocking. We shouldn't be going toe-to-toe with the Bombers around the contest. Obviously, on the scoreboard, we weren't, because they couldn't really kick straight. And, Forever just did enough to, do what we needed to do kind of thing. But, I'm almost reviewing this game like a loss. It's just not quite the result we needed. there'll be two lots of supporters. One will go, oh, we got the win we needed to win, and we played okay and we played well, and that's all we need to worry about. And then there'll be the other type of supporter, which is us, which will be critical and pretty honest with what we actually have to come up with. Looking at it, you can't really say it's glass half empty. It's glass half reality, I think. We just needed to do better with the opportunity there. I mean, Adelaide had no trouble beating them by 80-something points, so at Adelaide Oval. But I will admit the Bombers were pretty defensive. Like, they always seem to have at least one or two behind the ball, and with our poor kicking inside 50, which is forever a problem. I would love to know how many intercept marks the Bombers had. I reckon they probably had nearly as many marks inside our defensive 50 as we had marked inside 50. So it's just terrible execution. We got dominated around the contest. Essentially, they had 7 more clearances, which is against absolutely no names. We've got Dangerfield, we've got Selwood, the other Selwood, we've got Caddy, we've got Menegola, all hard nuts and brutes around the contest, and we're getting hammered around the clearances. Like, that's just such a concern, and I don't know how it's even a problem. And they've got, guys that are absolutely no names like Gleeson, a few other guys as well. There's just no household names. We won the contested possession count. Cool. But look, mate, it was just really disappointing. That last kick inside 50, and just Bartel dropped 3 marks. He would normally take 9 times out of 10, and he looked a bit out of it as well. Not going too far ahead now, but yeah, just general decision making as well. Jeff and I and Jess were just all over our decision making, just continually making mistakes at the wrong time. Umpiring again was really horrible. Deliberate out of bounds, holding the ball interpretation is just not quite there. I don't really care much about the umpires in this game, but you'd hate to see a big game and a flaky call by inconsistency costing a team a final or a grand final. I don't care if you pay for a kick, but pay both ways and pay consistently. So, not that you'll be watching the replay, mate, but there's a couple of weird decisions in there both ways, but yeah, just really took it like a Sunday stroll, really, mate. So I wish we played better, and we have the potential to win by 120 points. And since the Gold Coast game, we just haven't had the ability to do it.
Oh yeah, absolutely. I mean, looking on it, I honestly didn't look like we were ever threatened or ever really truly tested. We just looked like a team that, some of our bigger names were down, and maybe you could just put it down to not arrogance, but just a lack of respect. And look, let's get off to a good start. Let's win, and nothing more than that. I mean, probably you go into most games wanting to win. Probably the pass mark today was 70, 75 points, so you couldn't really give it a pass. And the way we played was underwhelming.
Uninspiring.
I'm not at all concerned on the bigger picture. I mean, I don't think it changes my view at all in that regard. I think we're a side that's been able to get up against the big clashes and the big sides, and you just got to look at our intensity and energy around the footy in the last couple of weeks compared to what we brought today. It was just that sort of in second gear sort of motion, and you just sort of cruise around. Sunday stroll is probably the best way to describe it, mate. And nothing brings that energy and intensity like a challenger, like an important game, like a big game that your Selwoods and Dangerfields and Hawkins rise to.
Yeah.
We almost had to manufacture our own, and we couldn't. And I think I said to you earlier in the game they'd struggled to kick 40 points, and it proved the case, but we just could bug it around with it too much. And I think a good point you raised by them probably being a little defensively minded. So.
Weird, mate, because they've got no real reason or much to gain by being extra defensive, and they've played for freedom all year, but just decide to, be defensive against us. That marks inside 50, mate, 22 and 25 scoring shots out of that, and I reckon there was probably 3 or 4 goals we had from play, but other than that, hardly any goals from play. which suggests either no cohesion between forward and midfield, or very defensive from the opposition. What were you going to say?
Yeah, no, I agree. I think, we didn't really make any improvements on our style of play, and barely made an improvement on our ladder position. It's just one you sort of, as I say, you walk away with and just kind of move on, and you just sort of hope it's not one that we look back in a few weeks and miss out on fourth or something by 2% and go, gee, or even 1%, something like that, and you look back at what was a lazy performance. But
absolutely.
Eventually it'll come to a stage where we have to have a big win because we're behind the 8 ball now. So it wasn't this week. Hopefully it can maybe be against the Tigers or Brisbane or something like that.
Yeah, to put it in simple terms, mate, it was one of the most boring games I've ever watched.
About halfway through, I certainly wasn't envious of, missing out sort of thing and not being there. It did not look like a great game at all.
Yeah, you said a few years ago, the Tigers and the Cats in 2011, when you said it was nearly the most boring game you've ever watched. Basically parallel to that.
Yeah.
All right, that's enough review, mate. We've waffled on for a while there. Wowee. Mitch Brown, 25 disposals, 18 marks.
Yeah, I did see that. Ridiculous.
He must have taken 9 intercept marks. Like, it was ridiculous. Anyway, moving on to, what do we do next, mate? The votes?
Yeah, mate. Chuck us the votes.
I'll do mine just to switch it up. I'm going to give the 3 votes to Harry Taylor, who got the 23 disposals, 13 marks, and a few tackles next to his name. He was really promising, read the ball like a book, and just a real solid down back basically all day. I'm giving the 2 votes to Corey Enright, who got 29 disposals, 10 marks, and 3 tackles. He was, again, another general down back and used the ball well under pressure and makes the right decisions, does the right things at the right time, knows when to intercept as well. He had 25 possessions to half-time, apparently, 1 in the third and then 3 in the last. It was amazing. It was an amazing drop-off. But I thought, when he got the ball 1 point in the third quarter, I thought, he hasn't seen it much, has he? He had 25. He's going missing, but that was crazy. And I'm giving the 1 vote to Lockie Henderson. They're all defenders, mate, and that says something about the midfields and the forward line. 22 disposals, 8 marks, and he also got the 3 tackles. He was back to his best, and after a couple of weeks on the pint, he's come back and hasn't missed a beat, and 8 marks says it all, and just reads the ball very well, and did very nicely today, I thought.
Yeah, absolutely. Certainly was a good defensive effort from the boys down there. Obviously difficult to give votes. Not saying the game from sort of siren to siren, but I think from what I saw, I thought Enright was our best. Had a stack of effective kicks, and I thought he really controlled it, especially early, as your little stat underlined. I gave 2 votes to Cam Guthrie, actually. I felt that when I was watching, he looked like he got into some space and broke away from the stoppage relatively well. And I just thought he was found a bit of the ball and seemed to use it better than some. I may have just missed all his clangers, who knows? But then I gave the one vote to Harry Taylor. So I thought, from what I saw, I thought Dangerfield was all right again. Just sort of look at the stats and look at some of his real pivotal possessions, but I think we give him votes plenty of time, mate, and I thought Harry was, equal if not better, and, was part of the defensive group that was really good, so there you go.
Solid tips, mate. I'll go with votes. Moving on to your segment, mate, the old shopping block. How's it looking this week? Menzel a little bit sore?
No, I was going to lead off with Dan. I think always concerning when you see him in the back seat of the bench. You never want to see that. The word is it's just tightness of an adductor or maybe groin, I think. I think adductor might be more to the point, but all I've heard is sore/tight, so that's good. You never know what can happen with his body. So you just got to hope that. You got to hope it's 1 week. You know, if it's 2, then it gives him 1 before finals or something. So don't want him being out for too long. I thought having Caddy back and Scott Starwood in there, I liked just the seniority that our group had. You know, there were more experienced heads in our chains of play, and you know, I just felt it looked a bit better. And I think in the long run that'll be something that really helps, not having that inexperienced or lack of confidence ball user. So I like the inclusions of a few of those guys. Hard to say who was poor. I mean, you might want to help me out with that one. I haven't had a massive look at the stats on the lower end, but I think there weren't any real standouts in the VFL. I think Lang was named best, sort of 4th or 5th best. But having said that, you know, a lot of the guys that we've been talking about in past weeks in the VFL have now got the call up to senior footy. You know, Caddy and Menegola and Salwood have been often featuring in this. So, yeah, I think we're probably with the Hawkins, Stanley, Smith sort of setup. I reckon that's something they'll persist with. And, I think
keep it like that.
Yeah, so whether they look to rest a Dangerfield or a Salwood or something in these last couple of weeks, you probably wouldn't think you could afford to if you need to make up some percentage points, but that'll be a judgment call they make. So, to be watch and see on Dan Menzel, I think, mate. Do you have anything to add with that one as far as guys who maybe lowered their colours today?
It wasn't. It's interesting. I'm just looking at the stats right now and just reflecting back on today's game. But look, no one was really bad. Like they were all just playing okay, and everyone just sort of, maybe besides the 3 or 4 guys we mentioned, played well. A generally good game for them. Cockatoo he did alright, like 15 touches, 14 with kicks and a couple of goals. He turned it over a fair bit, I felt. If he ties that up, I'm quite happy with his ability to be winning the footy in the first place, because execution you can, eventually fix up. Stanley was quiet. Didn't particularly like his game. Scott Selwood, a little bit rusty, but he's barely played any footy in the last 18 months, so I'm happy to give him a few weeks. They'll probably go with him into the finals if his body holds up all right. Buse didn't see a lot of it, but he must have done a reasonable job. I mean, the Bombers kicked 4 goals, so part of a good unit down in defence, as we mentioned. Zach Smith struggled to get his hands on the footy, got 6 touches, and I think Leuenberger beat him pretty easily. Leuenberger got 3 or 4 clearances, maybe even 2 of them centre clearances, so that's a bit concerning. Leuenberger's no world beater by any means, and Smith's a reasonable ruckman, so Hawkins back in a bit of good form. 10 marks, 3 goals, 4. He could have kicked 5 or 6 if he was fair income, but just missed some easy ones.
Yeah, just on the first one there, Cockatoo, I love what he's bringing on the table, to be honest. I mean, it's interesting you say that execution could improve. I mean, I obviously didn't see some of his poorer disposal efforts, but I think he's one bloke that, while he may have, as you say, we'll be looking to tidy that up, I reckon he's probably in the first 10 or 12 blokes that you want in the team, I reckon. I mean, he just provides that X factor and pace, and he's not just quick, but he's very good overhead from what I see. I think he's pretty safe with those pair of hands in the air. So I think he provides something that we haven't had in the last, couple of years potentially. I really like what he brings to the table, so I hope that he can tidy that up. And if he can, he has that ability to play 10, 15-minute patch of footy that just takes the game away from the opposition. So, an X-factor sort of player.
That's what we like. Yeah, no, I'm not chopping him or anything, but I reckon. Yeah. If he tidies up a little bit, he'll be good as gold, and we just need a little bit more run from him, I reckon, where he can, we've seen the old grand final replay where he's just takes them on and just absolutely, kicking goals from the centre and stuff. So, a bit more run and carry from him, but he's been pretty good. His hands are good.
Yeah, take a look at next week for us, mate.
And next week we have the Tigers, mate, who we have not lost to since 2006, and they got us by 20 points at Cardinia Park. Going back a little while, so they got the job done against the Pies last week. No, just on the weekend by 15 points. Pretty inspirational performance from them. They had to get the win to answer the critics, and yeah, look, we've been going okay. Not a great win today, but we've got their measure generally. There's been a couple of close ones lately between the two teams. I'll go in with a reasonable amount of confidence, but again, games that we should win or should win well, we generally don't. So that a little bit of confidence, a little bit of extra confidence you normally have isn't quite there. So I think we'll win. How well we'll win, we'll find out on the day, really. But you'd like to think 3 or 4 goals in our favour. What do you reckon?
Oh, mate, I couldn't be less concerned, son. No, I'm not that confident, but to be perfectly honest, the Richmond, this is a perfect recipe for them to once again just let their fans down and let everyone down, which they make a habit of doing. They were good against the Pies, but that just means nothing come next week. They are capable of being absolutely terrible or capable of doing what they did against the Pies, which was they fought a reasonable sort of pressure game, but it wasn't an amazing standard of footy by any means from what I was hearing and then watching for a bit. It was sort of two sides that were, both low on the ladder, and it sort of reflected that. So, mate, we've made a habit out of, just dominating the Tigers over the years, and that dates back for a long, long time, not even just recently. So I go in pretty confident with this one, to be honest. I'm more concerned about the Demons in that final round because, I respect what they can do against quality sides, and they've done it against us in the past. But, yeah, to be frank, I'm not overly concerned about Richmond, and I will be expecting a comfortable win, and I'll be disappointed if we don't because without smashing the Bombers today, it's not one that we can really afford to just cruise over by 3 or so goals. I think we need to win it by at least 5, and I think, I expect us to do so, and barring a real Richmond performance that's one in a blue moon, which they really play good footy, I think that we should come away with a comprehensive win, mate.
Hope you're bloody right.
I hope so too, mate, but that is an honest assessment. I think I said Friday night when we were talking about it, maybe it's a lack of respect, but the Tigers don't strike much fear into me at all, to be perfectly honest, and they've made a habit out of letting themselves down, the coaching staff down, and we've made a habit out of just trouncing them time and time again, so I hope that continues.
Yeah, we've also made a habit of not performing against slower teams, but that's my only concern. But let's hope we pop up and play properly. But that's a review anyway, pretty lengthy review from Shorty and myself. Cats getting home by 66 points. Barely getting the job done, if you like, with Adelaide's results and other results. And I'll have a bit of a chat with you, mate, about the Hawks, though. Jeff was saying they're probably the most vulnerable out of the top 5. If they lose another game, they can potentially drop to 6th or 7th.
Yeah, it's crazy, mate, and I won't blabber on too long about this, but yeah, they really are. I mean, they're the most likely to finish top of the ladder. But one slipper, I think the game against
West Coast.
I guess if Melbourne beat them, you never know. But West Coast over there on a Friday night is probably the danger game, and you're spot on.
North match up against them pretty well. Don't get a lot of wins, but they get close ones.
Yeah, 100%. And with that percentage, I mean, it's the loss against the Bees makes it live ball. So
it's exciting.
Wouldn't that be really interesting? You just don't know where you could be playing week 1 of finals. So yeah, it's good for footy.
If they lose one more game, they nearly can't finish top 4. That's how crazy it is.
Yeah, absolutely. I couldn't couldn't see them making top 4 if they lost again. They'd be relying on, I mean, I guess upsets happen. So, you know, we're presuming that Adelaide, Sydney, Giants and us don't lose. But yeah, you would think that, you know, there'll be 2 or 3 of those sides that go through undefeated to the finals, if not all 4. And if Hawthorn lose 1, they certainly won't be top. So yeah, they could certainly fall to 3rd, 4th, 5th, 6th. You know,
Are we going to be we're going to be barracking half of them to lose?
Oh, bloody oath, mate. Absolutely. I was loving it in the office, just watching the D's just handed out a nice little touch-up. It was lovely.
Yeah, I'm concerned for who we may play week 1, but see how we go.
Yeah, but hey, mate, there'll be a lot of coaches grabbing a copy of that Hawthorn game, and I think it's really starting to become not clear, but a lot more evident of some certain key areas that you must stop Hawthorn in, and if you do, you really have a very good chance you can stop those certain stats and players.
Good stuff. All right, we'll leave it there, guys. Thanks for listening in. Don't forget to like the video, share it around with everyone, and darijoe will have the Geelong goal video highlights probably up tomorrow, so I'll have the link in the description once he's got that. Thanks for hanging around, guys. We'll talk to you all next time.